So today I'll be focusing on just one artwork, the self-hypnosis one, because it's almost impossible for me to merge all my practice under one topic. Extracting the selves, navigating the depths of identity via self-hypnosis. The statement of the problem. I have always struggled to access my memories. It seemed like the memories of my friends and family, I couldn't differentiate which ones were the implemented memories and which ones were authentic ones. I was planning to do this artwork for a long while. This project consists of 20 or more floor plan-based self-hypnosis sessions. You will see just the first one. It was the time to bring these out, to confront, search, feel, or cry, or something more. To follow my writing, I'll be telling about myself in third person. That may look narcissistic. The motivation is reaching as much as information and memories, as the human memory is the strongest element that shapes the identity. When you think about the example of Alzheimer's disease, you can define, after a certain point, the identity is detached from the person with and without the memory. Looking in the current self and alternative previous versions, the artist is searching for a gap in between, if there are any, to focus on differences that create mind and identity. The objectives of this study was to accessing the early memories, the memories from my high school, university, because I don't remember that much. And when I met with my friends, that they were telling me that it happened, do you remember this? And I was like, no, I don't remember that. So the most common explanation for that was the unpleasant memories were suppressed and deleted by the brain. By following a direction from easily remembered memories to most difficult ones, it seeks solutions to the problem pushed to the subconscious as a defense mechanism. So the theoretical framework, you will be seeing the video meanwhile, the role of memory in artistic creation. As memory is a foundational element in artistic production, influencing every stage of the creative process. Artists often draw upon their memories as sources of inspiration, using past experiences, emotions, feelings, events to fuel their artistic production, as we see in many artworks. These memories serve as catalysts for ideas, themes, and imagery that find their way into various forms of artistic production and expression, from visual arts to literature to music. Furthermore, memory shapes the artist's interpretation of the world, filtering perceptions through personal experiences and perspectives. Memories of people, places, and events are refracted through the artist's unique lens, resulting in artworks that reflects their individual memories and interpretations of reality. Additionally, the memory is an essential technical execution of artistic endeavors. Artists rely on their memories to recall skills, techniques, and aesthetic principles learned through the training and practice. This enables them to experiment with new ideas, refine their craft, and push the boundaries of artistic expression. It is directly linked to an individual's identity and memory that contributes to the emotional resonance of artistic creations. As we artists channel our memories of powerful emotions into our work and fostering connections with viewers and engaging the process of catharsis. Overall, it plays a multifaceted and indispensable role in artistic creation, enriching artworks with depth, meaning, and personal significance. The methodology. Weeks before the sessions, first I draw the floor plans, tried some sort of meditation to focus on the space that I was in, because I was losing some memories that I had there, but I was remembering the spaces exactly, and I can draw any floor plan that I was there just once. So I draw the floor plans you will be seeing in a while, and name them. This project is only about the Grandma Summer House in Seferihisar, Izmir, Turkey, and there are 20 and more floor plans to be oriented in the sessions. So extracting the selves, as the related 4 sessions are done about this summer house in Izmir, Turkey, and it's a multi-channel video in Turkish and subtitled English. It's 16 minutes 48 seconds, displayed with the floor plans of the houses and compartments in between on paper rolls, which are mentioned during the session. So I use 3 different angles, and there are 4 different sessions. You don't see the 4th session because it was just a voice recording, and that was the trial. So I merged the sound layers and also the session recordings into 4 in 1 screen, and you may see subtitles when I'm speaking. Those 4 sessions were conducted, each deepening more than the previous one. First, I was listening to the session that I'm also instructing, and then I was recording my voice again according to the extracted memories, and I was asking myself more details for the following one. So the questions are different, answers are different. In auto-hypnosis, I was instructing myself. There was a complication. I was in rush to follow my instructions. That was staying in the surface, not in that depth. The memories were getting deeper. So if another person was leading the session, the trust level and the memories came out would be extremely different than this. Hypnotherapists have many different approaches and induction techniques. However, regarding safety reasons for the audience and readers, transcription and videos are cut from the artwork for that induction process. So you won't be seeing and hearing the beginning process of the session. All data gathered from the sessions and voice recordings are carefully inspected one by one via visual and audio editing programs, and voice levels tried to be increased, but some of them couldn't be saved, even with professional microphones, since I'm whispering in the session. So some of the voices are barely audible, but most of them are subtitled. And the italic fonts that you are seeing are my instructions to myself, and the regular fonts are my answers during the session.
Erhan, can I interrupt you? I'm sorry.
Sure.
You just clarified what exactly the words that we're seeing at the bottom are the words that you're saying in sleep. What is I'm confused about who's saying what and when.
So now go to the 3rd bedroom is the instruction that I'm playing the voice recording of myself that I previously recorded. Yes, I recorded myself.
And that is coming out of those devices that are lying next to you.
Yes.
Okay. And are you asleep when this is happening?
I'm in hypnosis. I'm not sleeping and I'm not awake.
Okay, so you have hypnotized yourself to this kind of semi-conscious state.
Yeah.
And you're listening to the sound of your own voice, giving you instructions,
Yes.
and then you're responding to that.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Sure.
And also, it's interesting that I hadn't caught initially is that he did a recording session, looked at the video, and had some more information than what he remembered. And then in the second version, he changed the prompt, his own voice, so that he could go deeper with this additional information he gained. So every time we're going deeper and deeper. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So because you already know, oh yes, there was that person, the heart was hot. So by re-putting in the recorder that he was listening in the following session, he could go directly to that information he had already extracted before, but then even deeper.
And also, obviously, in the hypnotic state.
Always.
Yeah.
And after the hypnotic state, you remember most of the sayings that you mentioned about, if it's not that deep state, but it could be deeper if any other person was conducting the session. Because I'm placing like 2 minutes time after every question that I'm asking myself. So that makes me nervous as well to fill that 2 minutes in an efficient way. If I was following another person's instructions, that would be easier for me to leave myself.
So basically, you are the hypnotizer and you are the hypnotized.
Yeah. It looks like sleeping, especially during the installation view, but with the label, it's obviously I'm in that state. Interpretation of memories extracted and their significance. The memories extracted were not symbolic. but still related to some emotional experiences which are not extracted yet in those 4 sessions. Like the relationship to be interpreted with some memories and spaces are some basic information. Who was staying in which room? If the subject had distant relationships with those people in those rooms, the answers sound like I see a cold looking space and there's too much emptiness and I feel autocracy, I feel distance kind of things. But they are directly related to my feelings. I say I feel a tension at the dinner, but I don't know the exact situation kind of answers. That stand for the temporal connections created by the feelings. Like mom is resting on the balcony. Answers don't need any kind of interpretations. And yes, please note, in that case, the interpretations are subjective, according to my memories. This question of viewer perception and engagement. As the artwork and sessions were conducted while the subject is laying in the bed, if the artwork be experienced without reading the label or seeing partially, since the warning in the beginning just can be seen in the beginning in a 16-minute cycle. If that's missed, the context can be missed as well, and it kills the artwork experience. The under hypnosis part is mentioned there. Hypnotherapy is still scientific, but in a gray area. It's sometimes interpreted as it was in a pseudoscience field, but obviously with the EEG experiments and the brain waves are different than we are having now. Let me show you the documentation of the artwork. Also, after the sessions, I wrote down the extracted memories, the floor plans, and the rooms. During the session, we do see the floor plan on the upper right corner, and that makes easy for the audience to follow which room that I'm describing. So these are the floors of that summer house.
Sorry to interrupt you again. Can you just clarify that also for me? The floor plans, floor plans of what?
So I'm asking myself about the experiences I had in certain places,
Right.
according to my memories.
And that includes the floor plan.
Yes, because I'm categorizing my memory within the spaces. So this is that summer house that the session is about.
Okay. I got it.
And I'm guiding myself during the instructions. Okay, you're now going to the upper floor in that room. Tell me about your memories, kind of things.
So the tenor of these emotional memories was just static, right? Like it was sort of, or is it nostalgic?
Some of them are nostalgic. I even draw the preschool in those upcoming sessions. I'll be focusing on them.
And what are the brainwaves like in comparison to sleep brainwaves?
Alpha, beta, theta, gamma brainwaves there are, as you know. And we are expressing this similar one in sleep and in the hypnosis. So, but we are not having those waves during the daily interactions.
Is there any analysis for it in non-hypnotic states, but like in psychoanalytic or in other forms of?
Sure, there are many sources that can be found, but I'm not in search for them for this artwork.
Another question, just related to that. Do you did not have any devices that recorded the type of brain waves that you were exhibiting when you were under hypnosis? And the reason for my question would be, if one is in the hypnotic state, does one register different types of brain waves?
Yeah, in hypnotic state, you feel like you can move your body parts, but you feel like, okay, I can do it, but I won't do it, and I won't destroy the session. So you are actually fully aware of the process. I was telling about a memory in that summer house, many mosquitoes in that room, and I was itching and I was scratching myself during the session. So that was the most interesting thing.
I think also like theta brainwaves are the ones that are indicated in like meditation and in hypnosis, and it's supposed to also be the ones that are like REM and deep sleep.
Yeah, similar to REM sleep.
Yeah, so it's like kind of a little bit more like generative, because obviously that back in that you're like constantly thinking and associating with patterns, which is easier to be heard just like perception of sleep in terms of like getting to be, should I do this with somebody else?
Sure, if they go to the hypnosis with my accent, then that can be acceptable.
Any volunteer who have to be hypnotized by Erhan?
But during the session, I don't feel like I'm hanging around in that summer house. I'm perfectly aware that I'm at home. I'm recording that session, and I have my full memories of the current state. But it depends on the depth of the session. So if I'm conducting this to another person, so that hypnotic state will be maybe deeper, and some people are not available to be hypnotized, like 5%. So that's something that differentiates hypnotherapy different than Western medicine. Any questions?
So it looks like your work is triggering many questions. So I'm sure many volunteers and many yes.
I have two. So my first one, or the first part of my question is, what was it like being an outsider looking in on your memories when you were going through the footage?
It wasn't creepy because I know I'm not sleeping. I didn't have that courage to film myself in sleep. After I perfectly awake, I felt that, okay, which one is the base reality? And I wasn't doing this for a long while. The last one that I made was that I was in Turkey. Even this thing now here is the base reality or not. So that was a strange feeling.
You can't, like, do you think you're still being hypnotized looking back at your
No,
memories?
but like a simulation level. I know I'm not hypnotized, but who can prove that you are not a brain in a jar with electronic signals?
Okay. So my second part was, how do you plan on expanding using these recovered memories?
So I almost completed the other floor plans. It's just about timing. But still, I'm in search for a better way to make myself more comfortable. Because in those 2 minutes, I can be detached. If I'm hypnotizing you, you may be detached from the session. If I'm not giving any instructions for a long while. So those timing shouldn't be too short and shouldn't be too long. And the subjects should remember that they are under hypnosis. So that's the complication that I have to cover for the upcoming months.
Erhan, I think it's fascinating. I think this is a fascinating project.
Speak louder.
I think it's fascinating. I think it's fascinating because I've struggled with insomnia, and this project opens up a whole thing. One of my questions is, were you at any stage really self-conscious about filming yourself and knowing that this is going to be seen by possibly the general public and everybody else? Did that ever stop you from entering your hypnotic state, number one? And number two, when people view your work, this work, have you encountered anybody who doesn't believe you, who says, Erhan, come on, like really, how do we know that you actually are in the hypnotic state? And that was also the reason for my question about brainwaves, because if there was a change in the delta, the alpha, beta, or delta waves, could you not add that if you were getting a reading while you were in your hypnotic state of going into this delta wave, to delta sleep, you could actually use that as a graphic proof that you are not, in your ordinary sort of waking life, in a way. I thought that, just wondered if you had encountered any people who said, nonsense, Erhan, you're not sleeping.
I had that kind of comments, some comments. And first question is no, it didn't stop me doing this. But that was my first artwork that I'm making myself vulnerable, because the others are political, protest, atheist, or some sort of lecture, didactic artworks. But this is the first time that I'm conducting some sort of experiment on my memories. And this is the way of me telling okay, I have my own issues as well, instead of the society. And the second one, as an atheist and as a sociologist, I can tell that it's very interesting that if a person is believing in God, or if a person is believing in astrological signs, when they tell me, okay, Erhan, you are not in hypnosis, that's funny. Because that's some sort of refusing the science kind of thing. And also, I'm perfectly open to be a more experimental subject with the correct equipment to show those brain waves. That would be more scientific.
Yes, regarding the second part of your question, sorry, to share this. There is an amazing work done by this artist, Janice Antoni, Antoni, who was one of the most influential artists especially for women in the 90s. And she did this, it's called Slumber, Slumber, where she slept in a room, and there was a transforming her brain waves into a textile, which was this beautiful piece. Was a long room in the Guggenheim in Sorrow. You can look it up. Fantastic. So yes, she did already. Sorry, pardon?
She did it at ICA in Philadelphia also.
Also the Philadelphia. Okay.
Yeah, and she unraveled the nightgown that she slept in at night, and then wove the dream reading during the day. So she like lived in there. She was there for I think a month or two. I think the duration of the exhibition.
Yeah, yes. Thank you for improving even my own memory. I needed hypnotizing.
No, I just remember like talking to her for a long time.
Fantastic. So, but I told you this is like for you, it's almost like breaking into a very interesting new territory that you should keep working on. And maybe another idea would be, since many of us deal with hidden memories, traumas, and so on, we should hire an hypnotist in residence instead of an controller, to do particular sessions. Maybe there's a space, but no, I'm joking. But there is something you.
Me.
Right?
Not me.
Okay. But, very interesting.
Thank you.
Any other questions you have? Okay. Thank you, Erhan. Yes.